welcome.
Art Burton, Marcia out of Panama City, Panama.
Excellent, welcome.
King, Prosperous, Philly.
Great, welcome.
Brooklyn, New York.
Ray Haney up
Welcome,
there in
welcome.
Brooklyn, New
Rita
York.
Bella.
From Memphis, Tennessee.
Greensboro, North Carolina.
Great. We'll get started in 30 seconds, everyone.
Mary Pichette, Vancouver, Canada.
Excellent, welcome.
Marissa Starr, Kansas City, Missouri.
Great, welcome.
Jean-Pierre Biaggi, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Excellent, welcome.
New York.
Not you, baby. Stop.
Welcome.
New Worsham, Charlotte, North Carolina. Dominique Baxi from Memphis, Tennessee.
Excellent, welcome.
Hey, Mr. Self, how you doing?
Hey, welcome back to the United States.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Brooklyn Park, Minnesota.
Chapter 7, Dominican
Charlotte
Republic.
Potts, Maryland. Congratulations.
Arizona. Great, welcome everybody. I see we've got dozens of people still in the waiting room. So I was stalling a little bit here, but I hate to let the early suffer for the late. And so let's go ahead and get started. Give me 1 second, guys, and put this in moderator mode. Okay, great. All right, everybody, this is Darnell Self, and I am chiming in from Houston, Texas this evening. Honored to share with you all the same information that was shared with my wife and I years ago when we first took a look at this for the first time. And I was 28 years old, and I could not believe something like this existed. And so I'm really excited about sharing it with you all today. Thank you guys for taking a moment out of your Thursday evening to hear this presentation. Here's the thing I think you're going to love. People are looking for authenticity. Like, people are looking for something that's real, a community of real people without a hidden agenda, people who believe in abundance and not scarcity. In other words, just because you win doesn't mean I lose. I believe you can celebrate everyone's building without tearing someone else's down to make yours look tall. And I know that's hard to find sometimes in people and in business, but you found it today, and I'm really excited for you all. I know many of you all don't know me, so those are just words for right now. But if you're like me, I wanted extra. I wanted more time with my family, more income to be able to do things for my family. I didn't need hype. I just needed someone to let me know there was a real path for me to get there, and then support me along the way. And if you're anything like me, you're really going to love what we share with you all today. So welcome, everybody. I did a quick 30-second stall just to share my heart and allow other folks to join us. So let's get started. I'm going to share my slides with you all today. And I'm more excited for you than you are for you, because I know what you don't know, quite frankly. So I'm really excited about you hearing this information today. And don't allow anyone to talk you out of what you see for yourself. In other words, sometimes people have opinions on things they've not experienced themselves. And so I had to make a decision based on having an open mind, because we're all adults. All of us are over 18 years old. We're all adults. And so we can make our own wise and well-informed decision on whether something's a fit for us or not, whether we had prayed for it or whether we have experience and we know what to look for, or perhaps trust. You trust the person who invited you to check this out enough to at least check it out because you know they're a good person. And so I'm really excited about doing this quick 25-minute presentation for you all today. Let me introduce you to my family. If you're not driving, please pay attention to the slides. They'll help you to digest the information. If you are driving, please stay safe. Don't pay attention to the slides. This is my wife of 31 years. As of last July, we were married 31 years. We have 4 amazing young adults. two grandkids. I have to remember to add them on this slide deck, and one on the way, one grandchild on the way. We're empty nesters. That's why we moved to Houston at the end of February of last year. Earlier this year. But we're born and raised, both of us, my wife and I, in Maryland. We live about 15 minutes or 10 minutes outside of Washington, D.C., in an area called Prince George's County. My wife went to college there. I went to college there. She went to Morgan State. I went to Bowie State. And when we graduated, she ended up working at BET, the cable station. I ended up managing a retail store. I worked 60 to 80 hours a week. When you manage retail, if anyone's ever managed retail, I was clothing retail, men's and women's clothing. But all retail is the same. You open up the store when it opens, you close it when it closes. When you're the manager, when people call in sick, you've got to go in because you're the manager. And so I was just looking for something different. I was 25 years old, and I just thought, I'm not going to do this until I'm 55. It's got to be something else. And from 25 to 28, I went on a search. And unfortunately, I went on a downward spiral financially as I was seeking out what I felt my purpose was. But at 28 years old, when I didn't have a car, I felt like I was disappointing my parents. I'm the only child, by the way. And I just thought I'd be further along with a guy who had a college degree at 28. And I was not. And I was behind on life, behind on bills. And 28 years old, a friend of mine introduced me to the information I'll share with you all today. Long story short, guys, it changed my life. A year and a half later, my wife walked away from her job at the cable station on maternity leave. We called it eternity leave because she never went back. She's been a stay-at-home mom now, job-free since she was 29 years old. I haven't worked a job since I was in my 20s. And I don't say that to brag or boast. I say it because it's important if someone's sharing with you how to do something that they've done it themselves. And my wife and I have been blessed not only to do it, but we've helped 40 people to earn six figures before I turned 40 years old. And now that list is over 100 people. I share this slide because we have a diverse group of people from all walks of life, GED to PhD, from the islands of Hawaii to Massachusetts here in the US to Canada, Toronto, and British Columbia. Why am I saying this? Because I don't believe you have to spend a lot of time explaining what type of tree you are when people can see your fruit. And so we share this because these are some of the folks on our team who've earned one of these rings, and our rings go for anywhere from $50,000 a year up to $3 million a year. And I don't say those numbers to frighten anyone or to even impress anyone, but just to share, again, facts. Our company's been around for over 50 years. So guys, listen, I believe people are tired of get rich quick. They're tired of hype, things that are here today, gone tomorrow. So you can already check that box that we are a legitimate company that's been around for a long time. Anytime you've been around for 53 years and you have 4 million customers, you're doing something right. Yes or yes? Yes. Right. Our vision is to provide equal access to the liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that all of us, you and I, deserve. And we participate in something called disruptive innovation. It's simply when you take an existing model, you make it simply easier and more affordable. Amazon did that to the retail industry, right? And so now you can actually have food delivered to your house, groceries delivered to your house, clothes delivered to your house. So times have changed. A lot of companies are shutting their doors. What about watching movies? When I was growing up, there was a company called Blockbuster, and you had to go to rent the movie to bring it home to watch it. If you didn't turn it back in enough time, there was a late fee. But now there's Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and all these different companies that have streaming services where you actually don't have to use the old school. In fact, Blockbuster's not even around because they didn't move with the cheese. But Uber did that to the transportation industry, and Airbnb is doing it to the accommodation industry. It's called disruptive, right? You take an existing model, you make it simpler, easier, more affordable. Well, we've taken the justice system and we made access to it simpler, easier, and more affordable. At $300 an hour for a lawyer, who in the world can afford that? And let's just be honest with each other. The average person has never been able to afford access to the justice system. The real color of justice in North America has been green. We get as much justice as we could afford. But our company, Legal Shield, has been leveling the legal playing field for the first time in North America. So I'm really excited about sharing with you how you can have access to your rights. And you may be thinking what I thought of when I first took a look at this. I thought, well, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't break the law. I don't really need a lawyer. And that was my own naivety. But I quickly realized as the person continued on with the presentation that bad things happen to good people too. Good people are treated unfairly and taken advantage of and overcharged for repairs, and they just don't know which way to turn. And so Legal Shield, our company is PPLSI, but we're most known as Legal Shield. We have changed the game. And this is why I feel so good about what I get to do. I get to lay my head on a pillow at night, knowing that the only way I've been able to make a living is by making a difference. And if you're looking for something, I don't have to go over the government shutdowns and AI and all the things that are happening in today's world where people are losing jobs and people just need extra. But people don't want an extra boss. They want extra income. And this is why you'll find what I'll talk about today. You're going to find a little bit of everybody who is succeeding with what I'm talking about. Why? Because I don't provide the services. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just in the middle of the lawyers who have an average of 22 years of experience. And the person who says, that makes sense, I want that, and I get paid a lot of money for doing it from home. Like my kids only know my wife and I for working from home for 25 years. Why? Because we get to offer the service right here. It says preferred legal plan. We have 3 plans, a basic plan, a preferred plan, and a premium plan. Today, I'll talk about the preferred legal plan, but if you want a revocable trust for a flat $250, get with the person who invited you to check this out today, and they can share with you how to gain access to the premium plan. If, let's say you're not married, you don't have any children, you just want the basic plan, it's only $29.95. There's the features and the benefits aren't as robust as the preferred legal plan, but perhaps that's where you start. You can always upgrade. But most people get the $37.95. Why? You get all these features and it just makes sense. It covers you, your spouse, and any eligible dependent children. That means children up to the age of 26, never married, living at home, or they can be full-time in college. So here's what we do. One, you can press a button on your phone. I'll pull up my app right now, and I press the app on my phone, and it says Legal Shield, and then it pops up, and then I can actually, it's looking for my face for facial ID. Here we go. I can request a consultation, right? It says my name at the top, and I just request consultation. Now it says ready to request the consultation. Yes, it is. Ask me what I want, right? Because this is the key, guys. I have friends that are lawyers, but not every lawyer knows every area of law, like every doctor doesn't know every area of medicine. You see? And person, not every lawyer is licensed to practice law in every state or province. This is why law firms make sense over a lawyer. So if I have a situation with a consumer issue, like I did with my piece of furniture, when I called Legal Shield, I got in touch with a lawyer that knew my consumer rights. You see, the sofa was ripped at the bottom, it was a custom sofa. It already took forever for that piece of furniture to come because it was customized. And when it came, I didn't realize it was a rip at the bottom of the sofa until days later. So I called the furniture company. I thought it'd be no problem. Well, the furniture company says it says on the delivery information that you signed off that it looked good. And I said, it did. I didn't notice the rip until later. They said, well, sir, you've already had it for over 3 days. And under our policy, it's nothing we can do. Well, just because it's not their policy doesn't mean it's the law. How many people know that? And so I called Legal Shield. Now, I would have never called a lawyer for that. I would have gone to Home Depot to get some Gorilla Glue and try to fix it myself. But I called Legal Shield, and Legal Shield said, hey, listen, there are 3 types of consumer warranties in the state of Maryland. That's where I lived at the time, or my primary residence at the time. And they said, this is going to fall under, some code they mentioned. They said, we could make a phone call, write a letter, because they are we can repair that sofa. If not, we'll replace it. Because this is powerful. You know how many people sweep things under the rug and they're just like, oh, the security deposit, the landlord doesn't want to give it back because they're like, oh, there's a mark on the wall. I'm like, you could paint the mark for $10. But people don't have a lawyer to call. Or how about the fine print in a document? They say the bold print giveth, but the fine print taketh away. I didn't understand the fine print in a real estate contract. It saved me $10,500 because I had a lawyer help me out with what the fine print said. They'll help you out, guys, with your last will and testament, estate planning. 7 out of 10 of us don't have a last will and testament, and all of us need one. And sometimes we think, I'm healthy, but death doesn't have an age attached to it, guys. I'm 55 years old. I hear about people at 51, at 47, at 38 who just pass away, guys, and it's responsible of us to get our last will and testament done. And I know I fell into the same situation that most of you are in. When I first took a look at this, I didn't have a last will and testament. I should be embarrassed to say it because I was married with 2 kids and did not have a last will and testament. But I'm like most people. I just don't think about it. And when you think about it, you don't want to spend $500, $1,000, or $1,500 in some states and provinces to get your last will and testament done. Legal Shield gives you one at no cost just because you're a member here, and we'll update it each year at no additional cost with this preferred legal plan. And so perhaps you have real estate property and you purchase a new rental property. Well, you should probably update your last will and testament. Maybe you have a new child, update your last will and testament. You get married, update your last will and testament. You now have stepchildren. These are all reasons, guys, to update it, but most folks don't. And so siblings, like real blood family, don't end up speaking anymore. It is not even just what you have to leave behind. My uncle was connected to life support, but my mom and her sisters didn't have to argue back and forth on whether they should disconnect their brother from life support because it was in his living will how he would want to live. So we do all of this, guys. Moving traffic violations. When my daughter got her ticket in Georgia, where she was in college, I didn't have to worry about my buddy trying to help me out with that. He lives in Maryland. He's a lawyer. He's an amazing lawyer. But he's a lawyer in Virginia and in Maryland. He didn't know the traffic laws and codes in Georgia. But the law firm through Legal Shield, that lawyer did. It was thrown out of court. I was excited because I didn't want my insurance to go up, which happens when you admit guilt for a moving traffic violation, right? Your auto insurance has the potential to go up, or you could be canceled depending on how many moving traffic violations you have. So again, guys, it just makes sense to have this. Let me just skip to the 24-hour access, 7 days a week in emergency situations, because things happen outside of office hours. You're being questioned, detained, or arrested. You have a right to remain silent and a right to a lawyer. And I have great young adults, but they know, don't argue back and forth with law enforcement. And sometimes because people feel like they have no recourse, they get upset and defensive. But if you're being pulled over, isn't it nice if you feel like your rights are being infringed upon to be able to say, sir, ma'am, if it's your intention to question, detain, or arrest me, please allow me to exercise my Miranda and talk to my lawyer, please. Guys, it's your right. But what good is it having a right you have no access to at 2 a.m. or Friday night or on the weekend? You do now with Legal Shield. Guys, this is why this is so powerful. And guys, you could have as many phone calls. Look, it's unlimited number of personal legal matters. The only thing there's an additional fee for is a moving traffic violation. There's a $79 fee to have a lawyer go represent you, which, by the way, it saves me so much money. $79, it makes sense, okay? If you end up going over your civil trial defense hours, or perhaps it's a criminal matter or a pre-existing matter, those fall under the discount. So after today, you'll never have to pay 100% for your legal fees again. At minimum, you'll get a discount. And who in the world wants to pay 100% on anything when you can get a discount? That's why I love what we do, right? We have opportunities, guys, to really make a difference out here in the world by leveling the legal playing field. How do we do it? It's not your dollar a day or my dollar. It's over 1 million people paying $1 a day. If you're taking notes, we pay our law firm 6 figures and 7 figures a month. 6 figures and 7 figures a month. And I don't care how much money you have here. Who wants to pay 6 figures a month? You don't have to, but you can afford 6-figure a month type lawyers because collective buying power, group buying power is how we do it. So that's how we do it, guys. Everyone wins. The client wins. Because our members don't want to spend $300 an hour for a lawyer, neither do your friends and family and the people who you love and care about. We win because I didn't have to go to law school. It took me 7 years to get my bachelor's degree. Do not judge me. But and look, the lawyers win. They don't have to chase ambulances. You don't see our lawyers on TV. We don't win unless you win. Nothing wrong with that. But they don't have to do that. We do the marketing. We bring them the customers. You see? So they get to do what they went to law school to do, which is practice law, not become marketeers. Everyone wins. It's a win-win-win scenario. And it's not just your family legal plans. We have a commercial driver's legal plan, a gun owner's plan, a small business plan. We offer this as an employee benefit to companies. We have over 30,000 companies, Lululemon, LA Dodgers, Ryder Corporation, huge corporations that offer this. Kohan, I mean, huge corporations that offer this as an employee benefit to their employees. So we have the small business plan. I have the $99 plan for rental properties, but it's up to you guys. You own a small business. You already know you need to have access to a great CPA and a great lawyer. And sometimes as a small business, we want to grow into a big business, but we don't have a big business budget for trademark, copyright. Perhaps we don't have our employee handbook drafted yet. Or maybe you have some debt collection issues, meaning that vendors owe us money but we don't want to hire a collection agency who's going to keep a piece of that. Have Legal Shield write those debt collection letters for you. I guarantee you the people that owe you money will respond a lot faster hearing from a lawyer than they will anybody else. You are a collection agency. So this is how this works, guys. We get to let people know these services exist. And by the way, I've been doing this for 27 years, so you don't have to say what I'm saying right now. You can send them a video and it does the exact same presentation, right? You can send them a flat sheet and they can decide by reading which plan is best for them. So you don't have to do what I'm doing, right? This is the reason why I'm doing this Zoom for you right now, because I realize I can do this in 30 minutes because I've been doing it for so long, and you can invite someone to check it out. They like what they see, you get paid. That's how I did over 90,000 my first year. Not by doing presentations like this, but inviting a whole lot of people to the presentation, guys. I was doing the invitation, someone else was doing the presentation, and I got the compensation. Doesn't that sound good, y'all? So it's like going to a church where someone else does the preaching, you do the ushering, and you get the collection plate. Amen? Do not say amen. It's a joke, okay? Y'all better not take that collection plate. All right, ID Shield. ID Shield is our second plan. This takes me 2 minutes to go over because you already know about identity theft. Most of you don't know about legal plans, but you know about identity theft. It's the fastest growing crime in the world. It's a scary crime because most folks don't even know when they've been a victim. So we're going to give you, one, access to your credit score so you can track that and see what that is monthly. We're going to monitor everything that matters. Social security number, if you're in Canada right now, social insurance number, right? IRS, CRA, if you're in Canada. We monitor the dark web. It's more than just financial though, guys. We're going to make sure that we monitor everything that matters because you pretty much, quickly when someone's been charged stuff on your credit card that's not you, right? And in your credit card, you can dispute that with them. Same thing with your banking institution. But social security number, if someone can live as you for years, you don't know it because you don't check it. Neither did I. So once you have our plan, our app, you're going to receive alerts. And it's going to amaze you because you're going to think, how long have folks been accessing my information? I just didn't know it because I never received alerts. And when you've been a victim, we're going to assign you to a licensed investigator because in today's world, it's not if, it's just when, right? Hundreds of thousands of identities gone out of universities like University of Maryland, where I went to school for 2 years, right? The registrar's office, there was a breach. Social Security Administration. I can go on and on. You already know. It's not like you can hide it. If you had a job, your information is already out there. You've been born, right? And all of you had, and say born again. Your information is already out there. And so we're going to assign you to a licensed investigator who will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to restore your identity back to pre-theft status. We even do a sex offender search within a 5-mile radius. Now, if you have 3 devices, you can get the 1995 plan. We'll put a VPN, virtual private network on those devices so that when you enter a public place and go on their Wi-Fi, like I did today at a restaurant, my VPN, my virtual private network, turns the public Wi-Fi into a secure Wi-Fi connection. And I love that, guys, because I don't want people knowing what sites I'm going to, passwords I'm putting in, et cetera. The $34.95 covers up to 15 devices. And so if you have a family, obviously, or someone who has multiple devices, that plan is going to be best for you. Again, for all my licensed insurance agents, human resource directors, those who want to participate in the B2B space, business to business space, I have colleagues that earn 6 figures a year, and that's all they do is operate in the small business space or offering this as an employee benefit, and we do that as well. So guys, let's talk about how we get paid and we'll be done. So we save you money by giving you access to member perks. Our aggressive users of member perks save over $50 a month, whether it be Samsung or ADT, or I bought my daughter a Jeep Wrangler for her birthday years ago. I saved $2,300 because I use the auto buying program. I rent cars. I save money all the time. $16 here, $52 here, depending on the rental, depending on the length of time. Gyms, you go into a sporting event, make sure you check out your member perks first. So let's talk about how we get paid. We get paid 3 ways. We get paid upfront every day, linear income. That's like you do the work, you get paid. It's almost like being a server at a restaurant. You know, you serve the table, you get a tip right away. Same thing here. So you get paid quickly, which is going to be awesome. Now, most of you are familiar with linear income. It means you trade your time for money. That's the only income I knew growing up, by the way. I thought I was going to have to work for my money for the rest of my life. I had no idea that before I turned 30, my money would start working for me and I wouldn't have to put in those hours. But my mother always said, if you know better, you ought to do better. I just didn't know better. Well, today you'll know better, okay? You can never unhear what you've heard. Leverage income is passive income. That's from a team effort, right? Real estate brokers have a real estate agent and the agent sells the home. The broker can be in the UK and will still earn income when that house is sold and gone to closing. Residual income in the music and film industry, they call it royalties. In the insurance space, they call it renewals. Here, we call it residual income. All it means, ladies and gentlemen, is you do something one time and you get paid for it over and over. So at 55, the majority of my income today is not coming from what I do in my 50s. It's what I did in my 20s, in my 30s, in my 40s that still pays me in my 50s. Let me just say this real quickly, 10-second break. It is nothing like waking up in the morning and before my feet are blessed to touch the ground, income has already entered my account from what I did decades ago. Guys, all of us should have, or at least experience that. Doesn't have to be Legal Shield, but you should find something that has a real residual income from a book of business that's willable to your kids. And that's what Legal Shield offers for you, okay? The gentleman who lived 4 homes down from us in our Maryland home, he was a very successful surgeon, and he had an aneurysm and couldn't perform surgery any longer. And we really prayed about his situation, but about a year went by, we noticed his house went up for foreclosure. And all I'm saying, guys, I don't care how good you are at what you're doing. If you stop doing it and you stop getting paid because you can no longer do it, that's called scary. And so you should find something, again, that has a reoccurring cash flow. Now, it's antiquated thinking to think you got to show up to make your money. This is us in Morocco. To the picture to the far left is inside of our luxury tent, they call it, in the Agafe Desert. It's beautiful, by the way. You should go if you haven't yet. But here's my point. That week, we made more money than when I was here in the States, which is where I live. How's that possible? Because location and income no longer have to align. So whether it's the Summer Olympics or Ireland, where we came back from last month, or Iceland, doesn't matter. What I'm saying to you is that a subscription-based business is where it is today, right? Whether it be iCloud or whatever it is, you're paying a subscription. I'm not calling them to say, hey, can I pay again this month? No one calls Netflix and say, hey, can I watch a movie? Whether you watch it or not, you still pay. Same thing with us. My wife and I are blessed to have a book of business of hundreds of thousands of customers that still pay every month for the legal plan. Here's how it works, guys. Check this out. I want you guys to get this, because God willing, you're going to be here 5 years from now, and it's going to be beautiful to still get paid in 2030 off of something you started in 2025. Here's how it works, and we'll be done. Legal Shield is going to send you anywhere from $80 to $416 for every referral based on a $37.95 legal plan and $34.95 identity theft plan. That's about $72. Now, someone may just get the legal plan. Will you make half of that? Someone may add a small business plan. Will you make more than that? Someone adds a gun owner's plan because they're licensed to carry. You get paid more. But this is just based on the plans I went over today, $37.95, $34.95. Someone goes to your website. They say, makes sense. I watched the video. I'm in. They click the legal plan, click the identity theft plan, anything else they want. It goes to your checkout in your website. The company knows it came from your website. You don't even have to do anything. The company knows it's attributed to you, and they pay you the next day. Isn't that exciting? Y'all don't get what I'm getting. I'm telling you. I see Mo. Thank you for your smile, and you're excited. I see you over there. So I'm telling you guys, when I saw this, I told my wife, I said, hold on, babe, I just need 1 month, because I had tried a couple of home businesses before that didn't work out for me. Don't judge me. And so I told her, I said, this time for real. She was like, okay. I don't think she believed me. But I said, look, because I knew 10 people that could use this service that didn't have their wheels done. So I'm like, that's $800, but you can't even get 10 customers at the bottom level, because by the time you get 5, you've already moved up. Now you're at $100. So your next 5, you make $100 for each one. And by the way, you could do it all by yourself and go up to the top, or you can do it with a team. For an example, you want to do it with a team, just get 3 customers. We call them members here. One of your customers becomes an associate like you. They decide, hey, I want to make money doing this, extra, part-time, spare time, anytime. Now, 3 and 1, you're a senior associate. You can move up with the team. That's how you moved up. Instead of 5 customers by yourself, you get 3 customers and get 1 business partner. You're a senior associate. You make $100. By the way, go to your Fast Start training. You can do that virtually or in person. In person is better, but if you have to do it virtually, the company pays you another $200 when you do that in your first 20 days. Right now, we got a special going on. You do it in your first 30 days. So you already made $200 in bonuses, plus you made a few $100s in commissions. Keep going. Go to manager. That's another $500. Plus your commissions, you're at $1,000 already. You can do that in your first week. The company gives you 45 days. We tell people do it in your first 4 to 5 days. We can show you how to do that. It's just 3 business partners. And together you guys get anywhere between 5 and 8 customers. We call it 300 in premium. You don't have to remember all of this. The company's going to pay you anyway, but it's just great income. Part-time, spare time. Let me talk to all the busy people real quickly, because I know some of you are like, man, I'm busy. I got a lot on my plate, a lot of plates on the stove, got to wait for my ducks to get in a row, all the stuff I've heard busy people say, because I'm busy. So we all say the same little soliloquies. But check this out. You're a manager today, you're at 132. Darnell's on your team, I'm at 80. The difference between our two levels is $52. So every time Darnell makes 80, you make 52. Watch this for the busy people. You made $52 with the person you didn't know. I shared it with my mom. My mom's my first customer. My mom, I'm the only child. Of course my mom was going to get it. She's like, I need to get my will anywhere, baby. I'll get it. I said, thank you, mama. Like, I'm 28 years old. I was like a little kid. I was like, thank you. I was so happy to get my first customer. But watch this. You introduced me to Legal Shield. You made $52 when I made 80 from my mom who you didn't know, a contact you didn't have, with sales skills you didn't develop. Because people was like, I'm not good at sales. You didn't know my mom. I shared it with my mom. So you made $52 with sales skills you didn't have, with a contact you didn't know, with the time you didn't put in. You all see how that eliminates, it dispels all excuses that you got to be this to start. You don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to become great. Don't talk yourself out of something that you've been praying for, that you've been looking for. We got a real company, real lawyers, real people making real money. And the company's been around for over 50 years. And it goes all the way up. So I know some of you are thinking, I won't go over the big numbers, but some of you are thinking that's not enough for me. Listen, when I introduced Mike Humes, he was delivering mail for a living. He was one of the first people on our team to earn six figures. When he made $100,000, the company sent me the difference. My wife and I, $30,000, guys. He was happy because he never made six figures running from dogs as a mailman. I was happy because I never made $30,000 for something I didn't do. So my wife and I, we thought about it. I was like, hold up. So if we have 10 people on our team, 9 more, the company's going to send us that, and they send us 30,000 times 10 for 300,000 or about. When we had 20 people on our team, the company sent us about 600,000. So my wife and I were blessed to earn 7 figures because we had over 40 people earning 6 figures. Not because we stepped on other people and kept them below us, or because we were scared to teach people everything we knew. At my job, my boss was afraid to teach me everything he knew. I could take his job. And my boss was the best man at my wedding. I didn't want to take his job. But look, guys, unfortunately, for us to move up in corporate America in someone's position, they have to die, retire, or get fired, all positive things. So we don't want that. But here we all get to move up together. There is no scarcity. So the person that introduced you to watch this today, they don't care if you make more than them. In fact, they want you to. Tell me where that community exists. And on the 13th month, we pay you another 10% of what we paid you up front. Residually, on the second year, we pay you another 20% of what we paid you up front. When I quit my job, they quit paying me. Can you believe that? They have not sent me a check, Mo, since I left. They are something else. But watch this, guys. We continue to get paid here. You can get paid business plans, which make you make even more. My oldest son is an executive, so that's $416 on a family plan, plus another $650 on a business plan. That's $1,000 for one customer in a day. We take all expense paid trips. We just took a trip to Riviera Maya, 750 of us, guys. All expenses paid, airfare, hotel, food. We're going to the Dominican Republic, Punta Cana next year. You can start qualifying for that right now. So I'm excited for you guys. Not the top 10, top 20, top 50, top 100. We send hundreds of people on these all expense paid trips. So guys, if you've been looking for a real opportunity that has a system in place, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel, try to figure it out, with a community of like-minded individuals, you can get started in Legal Shield right now for only a one-time $99. That's it. You can work from anywhere, set your own hours, make income quickly because we get paid every day. It's a willable book of business, which, hey guys, one of the most important things, this is willable. When my dad passed a few years ago, he used to drive the Metro bus in the subway system too in DC. His retirement check stopped. There's no, and that's most companies, right? I'm not knocking Metro or the company. It's just the way it is. But here, guys, the book of business you build is willable. Generational wealth. You can leave an inheritance for your children's children outside of just life insurance, guys. So again, it's just powerful, okay? The opportunity to get paid every day, as I mentioned. We got our personal mentors are going to be here to guide you. Our team has systems in place where every week we train and coach you on how to be more successful, how to become better at Legal Shield. And then the only ongoing expense, because the $99 is a one-time $99, you're going to write it off anyway, is a $24.95 Legal Shield Advantage. It's free the first month. That's for your marketing site, Because again, it's old school just to say I'm on my way to your house and the person's 3 hours away. You want to say I'm sending you to my website, and they go to your website. You can track everything. You know when they've signed up. You know who's close to a bonus. You can track all your metrics right there through your back office that you're paying your $25 a month for your overhead, or $24.95. Listen, guys. Lastly, become a member. Use it yourself, so you don't have to say I heard, I think, they told me. You can say I know. Sign up your small business if you have a small business, to protect that small business. You work so hard for it, guys. Don't win the case and lose your business. People take all their focus off their bread and butter when they have issues, and they're not focused on creating revenues any longer. So let the lawyers do that for you, okay? Let the lawyers do the work for you. Become an associate. For those who are looking for extra income, and I know in today's world, an extra $500 to $1,000 a month is huge. I'll say it one more time. An extra $500 to $1,000 a month is huge for the average person out there. So allow us to show you how to do that over the next few days. We're still in October, guys, if you're watching this live right now. And we have so many wonderful things planned for us in November and December, but don't do what the average person does. And that average person says things like, I'm going to wait for the new year and make a New Year's resolution. I want you to be above average. Wealth is a minority, which means the majority don't have it. So you just have to do what the minority does. And the minority does what the masses aren't willing to do. And the masses just aren't willing to step outside their comfort zone. Everything you currently have is found inside your comfort zone. Everything you desire that you don't currently have is outside your comfort zone. Otherwise, you already have it. We're here to help you expand your comfort zone. We're here to help you to attract what it is that you deserve, but you have to allow us to stair step you to become the next and newest version of yourself. Hey guys, God bless you guys. Have an amazing day. Welcome to the team. Welcome to Legal Shield. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to hear your testimony. In fact, tomorrow night, I'm going to do this one more time at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So get started tonight. Get your website set up so that tomorrow, when you invite people back to this presentation for 30 minutes, I'm going to do the presentation again. And guess what? You can get paid for the presentation I do on your behalf because your website will already be set up. God bless you guys. Don't forget to use the service so you can believe in it. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.